Hello and welcome once again to the Winding Road Podcast. Appreciate you being on here with me. It's I don't know, I'm getting close to episode 40 now. Got a few still in the till, in the queue, if you will. So I did a whole bunch of them and finally got caught up on posting them. I hadn't done any in a while, been working on some other stuff, but I've still been posting them pretty consistently, and I'm proud of myself for that. You know, it's just one of those things where I can't worry about how many people watch it or listen to it or do any of that stuff. It just ultimately I'm doing it for me first, and I'm developing good habits of having conversations with yourself, having mindfulness with yourself. You know, it's like people is just like, oh yeah, you're a weirdo, you talk to yourself. Man, go do your freaking research, alright? Because if you look at studies and stuff, they say that people that talk to themselves and do all that type of stuff are maybe a little bit smarter and, you know, yada 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 yada. I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, that's what the research says. Sometimes I feel like I'm really smart, and other times I feel like I'm a complete dumbass. But I know I have mindfulness, and I know that gives me a leg up on, I don't want to say a lot of people or things like that, because you know me, I don't judge anybody for anything. But I'm just aware, man. I try to be aware of the good, the bad, you know, everything. Aware of my surroundings, aware of my feelings more than anything. Obviously, I think that's what mindfulness is about. But I appreciate those of you that are on here with me, and I thank you for that. There's a cardinal out on the winding road, still a little bit of snow, off he goes. Fluttering to the right. Despite the cold, he has refused to go south. And yeah, I'm going to stay on here and keep running my mouth. Yes, I am. Ooh, back here on the back roads, the true winding road today, and still a little bit of snow. Had a little bit of snow roll through. So, yeah. So what I was saying was, in July, so I think it was July, August, where I had stopped. I just was doing them every day, just about, it seemed like, and then I stopped for a while, and so I'm caught up now. So yeah, so now, as of this recording, it is the middle of January. Been a little bit colder than normal, they say, and it's just kind of funny because, you know, it's like, oh man, can you believe how cold it is outside? Yeah, I can. It's January. We're in the middle of winter here. It's going to be cold. Well, we're not really in the middle of winter technically, because winter doesn't start until December 22nd. Goes through March 22nd. So yeah, I don't know, middle of January into January. Yeah, we're getting close as of this recording. But I was just thinking about how, you know, been great because I've been working out and everything and doing all that good stuff. And my girlfriend gave me a new pillow, and because my pillow is completely nasty, you know, and I know that there's dust mites and all that stuff, and it's not good. And you know, I had a little bit of like health problems, whatnot. I'm like wondering if that's because of it, man. You know, and take care of your teeth, people. Like I gotta get a dentist appointment scheduled for sure. Our teeth ain't too bad, but you know, it's just like, man, Mom and Dad's like, you always have such, I know I'm going all over the place here, and that's fine. Mom and Dad's like, you have such pretty teeth. And then I'm just thinking about how disappointed sometimes in myself, because I just, you know, I just get lazy, especially at nighttime. I've gotten a lot better about that, but God bless. Fucking disgusting, Gary. Brush your teeth at day and at night. Floss. Use your mouthwash, you disgusting, filthy, despicable human being you are for not brushing your teeth at night. So I've gotten better about that, and I've gotten better, yeah, I mean, just got to think about those things of hygiene. And I'm a pretty clean dude, but yet I've been lazy. I've been just thinking, oh, I'm young, and then it don't matter. But I'm not that young anymore. I'm pushing 40. I say that I'm going to be going on 30. I'm 39, so I'm going to be going on 30 until I am 49. And whenever I turn 49, I'm going to be going on 40. And I mean that. I mean that because I want to keep telling my mind that. I want to keep telling my mind. I am telling my mind that, but my mind's inside my mind, so how can my mind be telling myself anything? But it's that self-talk. It's talking to yourself. And it's manifestation, because if I continue to tell myself that, then my mind, hopefully, I do believe, is going to tell my body that. And if I'm doing the right things and working out, I'm going to feel that way. I'm going to feel young, and I'm aging. Age. I mean, yeah, a lot of times I do think about how, oh gosh, getting older and it's really scary, and yeah, all that good stuff, and just the recognition of dying, and or just getting older too, and so I'm just like, yeah, older I get, I'm like, all right, maybe that's why I've been going to the gym and doing all that extra stuff. But I don't even know where I was going whenever I was talking about the pillow. I was talking about my pillow. Where was I going with that? I definitely led off into good points about having hygiene and stuff like that, with and then changing your bed sheets and stuff like that. We just don't realize how that stuff, we might realize it. I knew it, but I wasn't mindful of it at times, and I was just lazy at times as well, and just don't be lazy, because if you're lazy, that obviously that can lead to a whole lot of negative. So I know I'm stating the obvious there, but I need to hear it. I think it's good to state the obvious sometimes. My girlfriend talked to me and she'd be like, I know I just state the obvious a lot. And I'm like, that's okay. It's okay that you state the obvious, because what happens whenever you state the obvious? Whenever it brings mindfulness, it brings awareness to it. It just might have been it's in the background and you stop thinking about it. So then it doesn't become quite as obvious anymore. And it also leads to questions, like, oh, you state this and this about that. And then that gets somebody else thinking about that. And then they might ask a question about that that's not so obvious. And I think that's a good thing. I do. I really do. I think that's a good thing. But I don't know. The only thing I was thinking about with the pillow was I was just making my neck hurt a little bit. So I'm still rocking my nasty pillow. I put a cover on it, zip up cover, and it's like, all right, man, no, just need to go. Don't be lazy. Just go get you a brand new pillow. I mean, I could try to clean it, but apparently you can't clean the memory foam pillows. You got to hand wash them, and let's just say mine's probably it's too far gone. It's too far gone. But yeah, neck's hurting a little bit. Oh, I know what this was going to lead into. Yeah, I was just going to say that getting hot in here in the winding road, and I roll down that window even though it's 5 degrees outside. Yeah. I was like waking up, my neck's hurting a little bit, and I was a little tired today after having such, good days of just, feeling great, and it's easy to go work out, things like that. And today it wasn't so easy, but guess what, mofos? I did it anyways. And how was I able to do that? How do you start to try to develop good habits? Number one, you just start doing them. You stop saying you're going to do them, and you just go do them. Procrastination is the biggest killer of dreams, man. One of the biggest things to stop people from achieving everything that they want to do is by just thinking about whatever they want to do and actually never doing it. That happens. But I did it. Any habit you have, it's like, too tired to do that today. And you just, you're making excuses, and you tell yourself, and then your mind's going to tell your body, all right, well, cool, just sit around and watch TV. Go ahead and binge on Netflix. And I'm not saying anything bad. You binge on Netflix. I'm not judging you. I'm not. I do the same thing sometimes, or whatever you're watching or doing. I'm guilty. But if you just tell yourself that you're tired and you start making excuses, the next thing you know, you didn't go. And then what happens? Then your future arrives 3, 4, 5 hours later, or 20 years from now, and you didn't do those things, and you're in a horrible place. Because, a few hours later, you're feeling guilty. Number one, guilty of not going. And your body's not thanking you, because then you're just even more tired and you're more lazy. And I know you got to listen to your body sometimes, and I do that quite often. But sometimes I feel like I use that as an excuse as well. But I know, I'm like, I feel a little tired. I'm going to keep laying here for an hour or longer or so. And thankfully, I've escaped the rat race and I'm able to do those things. That doesn't mean I'm still not working hard, but, I don't have to get out of bed at a specific time. And that can make it even harder to get up and get motivated. It's real easy to listen to your voice in your head then that tells you to go back to sleep. Really, really easy to do that. But once if you could just fight through, man, I talk about the thin layer. I want you to think about a thin layer in your mind. And I apologize if I've already talked about this on previous podcasts, but it goes back to stating the obvious and goes back to repetition. And repetition of telling our mind, it's just like working out our bodies. We're working out our minds by telling ourselves the same things over and over and over and over again until those things become habits. So I'm telling myself, this thin layer of just using excuses to not go do things. And if you just fight through that thin layer, even though the layer might seem really, really thick, tell yourself it's thin. It's another point as well. Even if something's hard, tell yourself that it's easy. Because even if it's hard, it's going to make it a little bit easier if you're sitting there telling yourself it's easy. Guaranteed, if something's really easy and you're telling yourself that, it's hard, or I don't want to do it, and then you're bringing the negative on, well, you're going to make something that's really not that hard into something that is hard, because you made it that way, because of your mind, because of what you said it was going to be. But that layer, man, is so thin. And if we can fight through that layer, and it did not take me very long with working out, because I got up next hurting a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, maybe I won't do too much. It's going to strain my neck today. I mean, I want to think about that. I'm always listening and to how my body's feeling and everything, but I push through, I fight through. And if we're able to do that and fight through and do that, it won't take long. It didn't take me very long. I think I've been consistently working out for about a month now. And for a while there, it was like 2-3 days a week. But I was consistent with it. And now it's like, but then I was using excuses of, I got to do this and that today, so I'm not going to go work out. Well, now I just find the time because I can feel the benefits of it. So now I'm going 4 or 5 times a week. And now it's as if I have to go. I have to make myself go. Even if I don't want to go, I know that I'm going to feel good about it later. So I'm able to see my future from my present. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And we also have to be able to see our future from our past as well. And I've talked about that a little bit on here before. I'm going to kind of try to go in a different direction with it. But so if I'm thinking about my past and, the like bad things, things that dwell and things like that. Number one, I don't let them dwell anymore, because I've just built up so many good habits through mind, body, spirit, nature, working out, reading, all that good jazz. But we have those things that we are holding on to. You have to figure out a way to get into the present. And the only way we can get into the present is by being able to see the future and see, okay, well, how do I get myself, the old saying, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in a year? Well, where do I want to be tonight? I want to be great. I want to be feeling great because I went and worked out. But I don't want to be holding on to things, because that just takes you. Then you're not in the present. You're stuck in the past. If you're stuck in your past and you're not able to get to the present, then you can't get to the future in a healthy way in developing those good habits. So that's just what I'm trying to do. You know, just can't sit around and dwell on it, man. The only way I've been able to block out the noise and just turn it into a beautiful song and, you know, and created those new neural pathways is just by fighting through that thin layer, man. It's fighting through that thin layer, guys. Appreciate you being on here. I'm me, you're you, we are each other. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.